Hello, and welcome to a review of Ignaz Philipp Semmelweis and how his research and intervention impacted quality improvement. Mr. Ignaz Semmelweis has been called the savior of mothers and also has been called the father of antisepsis. He was born in 1818 in Pest, Hungary, and in 1844 he received his doctorate degree and went to work at a maternity or lying-in clinic at the Vienna General Hospital. There were two clinics that were at that hospital. The first clinic was made up of midwives and midwifery students, and the second clinic, where Dr. Semmelweis had worked, was made up of physicians and medical students. Semmelweis began researching maternal death of puerperal or childbed fever rates in the two clinics, as the clinics had a huge disparity in those rates. The clinic staffed by the doctors had a mortality rate of 98.4 deaths per 1,000 births between 1840 and 1846. The clinic staffed by the midwives had a much lower rate of only 36.2 per 1,000 births in that same time period. After much research and some failed hypotheses, Semmelweis theorized that the doctors and the medical students were transferring morbid matter after completing autopsies and then completing vaginal exams or deliveries in the obstetrical clinic. In 1947, he began training and implementing hand-washing procedures that the students were required, after completing autopsies, that they would wash their hands in chlorinated lime prior to doing the vaginal exams or deliveries. And within a 3-month period, the maternal death rate dropped drastically. And by 1848, the number had dropped even below or at where the midwives had been, to 12.7 per 1,000 births. And you would think that the excitement would have been grand from this research and having the maternal death rate drop so drastically, but his teachings were not accepted by his peers, and he was let go from his position at the Vienna Hospital in 1849. He then moved back to Pest, Hungary, and became the director of the maternity department at St. Rochus Hospital. Semmelweis implemented his same teachings that he had with the hand washing at the new facility, and it was much more accepted when he implemented those interventions at that time. And in 1855, he was hired as a professor of the obstetric unit at the University of Pest. And at the time that he had worked at the hospital there, he was there between 1850 and 1856. The maternal death rate was down to 0.85, and the hospitals in both Prague and Vienna remained at 10 to 15%. And in 1861, he published The Etiology, Concept, and Prophylaxis of Childbed Fever. His writings were sent out to medical society and physicians abroad, and once again he received mainly adverse reactions to his works. And in 1865, he was admitted to what is called an insane asylum for mental illness or a mental breakdown, and it is speculated that he died approximately 14 days later after the admission from sepsis or an infection on his right hand. Dr. Semmelweis was ahead of his time when it came to discovering that childbed fever was contagious, and also that hand washing with chlorinated lime reduced or eliminated the transmission of that, which resulted in the maternal death rate being drastically reduced by the intervention of hand washing. While reading excerpts from his Etiology, Concept, and Prophylaxis of Childbed Fever, it was similar to reading a research study that we see today, in that Dr. Semmelweis provided data to show the effectiveness of his intervention on the hand washing and how it related to the maternal deaths. Dr. Semmelweis did not receive recognition of his findings until after his death. He has been commented by Joseph Lister as the father of modern antisepsis in his studies that were years later after Dr. Semmelweis had passed away. The importance of hand hygiene is stressed across the globe for medical professionals and also individuals to decrease the transmission of disease. The BC Center for Disease Control states that over 80% of infections are spread by the hands. And it has also been quoted that hand hygiene is the single most important intervention for reducing healthcare-associated infections and preventing the spread of antimicrobial resistance. The CDC has developed tools on educating both medical and non-medical personnel or individuals on the importance of hand washing, and has even implemented a global hand washing day. The World Health Organization has also developed a guideline for hand washing for healthcare professionals, and that was generated in 2009 and remains in use today. Dr. Semmelweis's works and intervention of hand washing has come and has changed over the years in the products that are used, but it does remain in place that it will reduce the transmission of disease, and his impact on the quality improvement at the time that he practiced was immense, but also was very limited in that he was not accepted by his peers. But over the years, we have learned that his teachings were valid, and it has been expanded upon. And as we see today with all of the hand washing implementation that's been put in place, it remains true, and his impact on quality improvement has been a great success. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.